Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kaigan. Up here today, guys. I have a new TV that I'm gonna do an first impressions for. I'll just show you the TV quickly. It is a Sky Glass TV. It's dusty pink, 55 inches. Don't worry, this isn't. This is alcohol free. I'm not starting early. I don't really drink alcohol. Hello, Sky. Turn on. Hello, Sky. Turn on. I mean, how awesome is this? I love it, man. It's awesome, man. So I'm going to do my first impressions video of this. I got it yesterday. Took a while to set up. It's a 55-inch TV. I'm going to talk about some of the things. Hello, Sky. Hello, Sky. Hello, Sky. Turn off. Turn off. Turn off. Turn off. Thank you. So I'm going to talk about it, let you guys know what I think of it, talk about some of the good things, some of the things that I think could use a bit of improvement. But all in all, so what is Sky Glass? So essentially Sky Glass, if you don't know who Sky are, they're a cable company here in the UK, much like Virgin, BT, all of those EE, those sort of things. Provide TVs and cable services like that. Years ago we used to have a Sky Box, but Sky Glass is essentially a TV with everything built into it. It's got two soundbars built into it, speaker soundbars on both sides. It's got a basically the Sky channels included on the TV, and you can buy it straight outright if you want to, or you can do what I did and do a monthly payment plan. The payment plans are all separate. They have different options available depending on how much you want to pay. I'm not going to go into all the pricing because obviously if you want to check it out, then feel free to. I feel like the payment plans are pretty, acceptable and fair enough. Their prices aren't too expensive. And the best part is you can manage all your payments on the phone using the app. You don't have to make phone calls. You don't even have to do direct debit. You can make payments as and when, make advance payments and stuff. It's very easy to do, and a lot simpler than Virgin is, I'll tell you that much. Virgin, a nightmare for payment, but that's a whole nother story. So it has the, Dolby Atmos, of course, built into it. And stuff like that. So with the basic payment plan, you will get your basic entertainment package, which includes over 150 channels, which you can watch live, but it also has catch up and on demand. I'll talk more about that in a bit because there's some caveats with that one. Again, it has built-in TV apps. The UI home interface is fantastic. It will, again, it's voice activated, even motion activated as well. It will turn on in the morning and I believe the evenings as well when you walk in front of it, which is really awesome. You can turn all that off if you want to. You don't need to have all that on. I think it's a great piece of technology. And again, it's got all your stuff built in. One thing that I think is a fantastic deal is Netflix is included with your bundle, but if you want to have the premium Netflix, is what I had anyway, that was like $15.99 a month if you just pay for Netflix through Netflix. But with Sky you can actually get the premium for £8 a month, which is basically saving yourself about £7 to £8, which is great. You're paying half the price. Like I said, the UI is great because the main home interface will show all of the recommendations, even stuff that's on streaming services like Disney and Netflix and stuff. It will show it on the main home screen. Easy to find stuff, again, voice activated. Now, me personally, I write down everything on my phone, what shows and movies I want to watch from different apps, so I know exactly what I'm looking for. But for the most, for the average viewer, it's easy to find stuff. And the home screen is very beautiful, very vibrant. The picture quality, I think, is fantastic. It's a big improvement over my last TV, which is now downstairs. So we have a TV downstairs, which is great. The sound is where I think it really shines. The sound is fantastic. Really loud. multiple options as well. You know, you can have the auto option on, which will automatically know what you're watching. So if you're watching sport, it will have the dynamic or vibrant colors scheme. If you're watching like a movie, it will have like the cinematic experience. Again, you can do things like bass boost, nighttime mode, voice enhanced mode, all of those great things. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not great in the technological department, so a lot of these things I'm not 100% on what's best, what's better. It's not an OLED, it's a QNVD or something like that, and I don't really know the difference. I did ask the person, you know, what is the difference, and they basically said, you know, it's really sort of name only, basically. But I'm sure, like, if you look up videos on YouTube or whatever, you can probably see the differences. Honestly, I think it's a beautiful screen and a beautiful color scheme, and everything sounds great. Easy to find stuff. Now, again, what are the sort of apps and payments and different things you can get on here? So the basic entertainment package is what you get with Netflix. Again, you can add on the higher Netflix if you want the standard, which is the 2 screens HD, and then the premium, which is 4 screens 4K Ultra HD and stuff like that. And it is cheaper doing it through Sky. Your Netflix will automatically know that it's through Sky when you sign into your account, which is great. You don't need to create a new account or anything, so all your stuff will still be saved. You know, like, so that's great. With the entertainment package, you also get things like on demand. You can watch stuff on demand. You also get the Sky Go app as well, much like the Virgin Go app. So you can watch stuff on your phone, on your tablets and stuff on the go if you want, and stuff like that, which is great. I think it's really, you know, nice. Now, you can add stuff on. You can add on the Sky Movies if you want, the Sky Sports, BT Sports, the kids, stuff like that. You can get things like an extra home and stuff like that. And it's all easy to do through your phone. You can even do it through the TV if you want as well. Easy to do. All it does is it just adds it onto your bill. And it's easy to do. Now, there's 2 things on here that I think are a bit of a caveat. And I'll get to them in a minute. But again, apps as well. So it's got basically most of the big apps on here. You've got Netflix, of course. You've got, you know, your catch-up TV channels and your catch-up like BBC iPlayer, your All4, your ITVX, those sort of stuff. So that's great. You know, so if you're into that sort of thing, it's already included on there. You also have, you know, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime as well, Paramount Plus, Lionsgate. I'll quickly double check all of them here for you. Hey, hello Sky, turn on. And I think it's great, you know, because you know, so obviously, so the apps that are included on here, so BBC iPlayer, ITVX, All4, Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video, Paramount Plus, Lionsgate, Apple TV, which actually, if you're a Sky member and you have Sky VIP, which is free to sign up for anyway, you can get 6 months free Apple TV, which I thought was great. Disney Plus, Discovery Plus, which is also now included if you have a Sky Entertainment package. You get Discovery Plus included, which is great. STV Player, which I'm not sure what that is. I think it's like a catch-up. I'll have to have a look at that. Of course, you have your Sky Store and also Peacock, which is exclusive to Sky. Now, it's not the Peacock that you have in the US, which has like WWE and everything on it. It only has like maybe 20 shows on here, but it does have things like the Bel Air TV show. But you can get some other apps on here as well, like Spotify, Amazon Music. You can get things like some fitness channels as well. So there's plenty of stuff on here. It's got all the big ones. And I also believe for Paramount Plus, if you sign up to Sky Movies, you also get Paramount Plus included in that as well. But I get my Paramount Plus in my Amazon Music, in my Amazon Prime. All my things are on Amazon Prime. And the good news is you can still you know, because it's missing things like BritBox, Arrow, some of the other ones that I've talked about. But that's where, if you have Amazon Prime and you get them through Prime, that's where it really comes in handy, you know. So you can still access some of those things that aren't on here. One thing I really think is awesome is it has 3 HDMI ports, and what's really cool is obviously it automatically recognizes what that HDMI is. So that's my Fire Stick, for example. And the good thing is you don't actually have to it doesn't change the channel or anything. Like most TVs, you have input, and if you go onto like HDMI 1, but you wanted to go back to watching like a Sky channel or something, you would have to change back. Whereas with this, if I click on the Fire Stick, for example, I'll see if I can show you. So obviously my Fire Stick has come up, but if I just press the home screen, it will go back to the Sky, which is great. Now, there are some caveats and some things that I think there are some apps missing. There's no wrestling apps on here, so WWE Network's not on here. There's no Crunchyroll or anything. I have actually mentioned it to Sky and I said, look, would you be able to maybe get these apps as well? Because they're the only other apps that I use. But again, because if you've got a Fire Stick or something, you know, you can switch to and from, which is great. I haven't tested out anything gaming wise yet, or my Blu-ray DVD player yet, so I don't know how good they're gonna look. I've heard mixed things about the gaming side of things. I've heard that it's not like the best TV you can get for gaming, but at the same time, a lot of it's just deep technical stuff that, unless you're really into that sort of technological side of things, you're not going to really notice anyway. So that's that. Now, there are 2 other caveats that I think are a little bit disappointing. The first one is if you want to watch stuff on demand, because bear in mind, this isn't a Skybox, so you can't record stuff. Now, you can watch stuff on demand, and another cool feature is the restart button, where if you're watching live TV and you want to, you've missed like the first like 20 minutes of it or something, you can just hit restart and it will start it from the beginning. However, you cannot skip ads, and there's even ads on the on demand, which I think is a bit annoying, but you can pay £5 extra a month to have the skip ad option. Now, I believe it also gives you the option to skip ads in some of the on-demand channels, like some of the on-demand channels, which I think is good anyway. So you'll be able to skip the ads on demand, like ITVX and All 4 and stuff like that, which I think it's fair enough, you know. But it is something that I think should be included when you're a new customer. You shouldn't have to pay the extra £5 to skip ads on demand, especially if you're already paying for the Sky Entertainment bundle. And the other caveat is the HDR, the Dolby Atmos and 4K Ultra HD channels. You do have to pay extra for that. Now, at the moment, you can get it free for 2 months. So if you're a new customer, you can get that free for 2 months. And then I believe it's an extra £5 or £6 afterwards. But I think it's well worth it if you want to watch stuff like Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, The Last of Us. Now, that's the thing. Sky is essentially HBO Max. So things like Game of Thrones, The Last of Us, these HBO shows that you have in the US, we have here on Sky. So if I wanted to watch Game of Thrones, the only way I could watch it is by either having a Sky subscription or having Now TV, which is owned by Sky. So I haven't watched Game of Thrones, but it is nice knowing that I can watch it in HDR 4K. Now, again, also the apps. I think the Fire Stick has more apps. But like I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I would normally watch things like Disney Plus on here. But when I actually watched it on Sky, it actually was the better version of Disney Plus, because it let me change like the subtitle settings and all of that, whereas the Fire Stick version doesn't let you do any of that, which I think is great. I did watch some Dragon Ball Super on Crunchyroll through my Fire Stick on this TV, and it worked fine. It looked great. It was still showing off the you know, the sound and everything. But just bear in mind, when you're using a third-party HDMI source, either a Fire Stick, a gaming device, a DVD player, you may not get the best. It depends on how good that thing is for sound and visual quality. So if you're using an external device, like if you're using a DVD player, for example, the HDMI DVD player, don't expect to be able to get 4K on the TV. That's not how things work. If you want to get 4K Blu-rays to work on a 4K TV, you would need to have a 4K player. Do you know what I mean? The same with a PlayStation and an Xbox and stuff like that. So now the good news is you don't need to have Sky Broadband for this. That was one thing that was a bit worrying for me. Would I need to have Sky Broadband in order to use this? No, I'm still using a Virgin internet, and it works fine, no problems. Tonight I'm actually going to try and watch something on my Virgin box through Sky. Now that sounds a bit weird, but that's only because well, I don't know actually. I'll have to double check. Now, I think that is really, really, really cool. I just want to check something. Takeshi's Castle. Takeshi's Castle. Fuck's sake. But yeah, so that is something that is you know, that's not. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, it is really cool that you're able to do that. And another really cool thing is when you search for stuff, it will automatically show you where those things are available. And you can add stuff to your playlist as well. So even if I wanted to add something from Netflix to my playlist, it would, like, for example, here, this is my playlist, but it will come up showing me what I've recently watched on Netflix. So it's easy to access things, easy to find stuff. So in that department, I think it's definitely a great thing. So let's break it down. First of all, pricing and accessibility option for pricing. I think it's I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I think the pricing options are easy and fair enough. Some of the prices are a little bit more expensive and may not be as accessible to some people, but you can easily take things off and put things on as you please. And like I said, there's always great options available. Like I said, if you get the entertainment package, you get Discovery Plus, for example. You get the Sky Cinema, you get Paramount Plus, so you are saving yourself some money. I think that's great. You know, it's easier to add things. It's much easier than Virgin. And before, if you wanted to add new channels and add extra packages and that, you'd have to call them up and they do it over the phone. The same thing with Virgin, you have to do it all over the phone. Whereas on Sky, you can do it either on the app or even on the TV, which I think is great. Picture quality. I think the picture quality for me, 4.5 stars out of 5. And now the only reason I'm not giving it a 5-star is because I haven't tested everything yet. But from what I've watched so far, everything looks great. Now I have heard people saying that it's terrible for them, but I think it depends on your internet. Because I've got good internet, I don't think that's the problem. I think most of the complaints that I've seen for people is, I think, for people that have the Sky internet. No offense to Sky, but the sound quality, 5 out of 5. The sound is amazing. Like I said, it's got a built-in sound bar, so you know you're getting the best quality sound. And there's lots of options to change. I think the sound is amazing. You know, it's coming out of both side speakers. It's 360-degree speaker, so you're going to hear it everywhere. Technical features and uniqueness. I'm going to give it a 4.5 stars out of 5. I love the fact that it's got so many features, like being able to turn it on with your voice. The voice activation is pretty decent. I think it depends on my speech isn't great, so sometimes when I say things, but I had the same problem with the thing. The motion detection I think is really cool, and you know, I think it's really well done. So yeah. The accessibility options and the overall UI, I'm going to give a 4 out of 5. It's easy to find stuff. Whatever you can't find, you can either search for or voice activate. And even if you want to watch something that's on Disney Plus, all you'd have to say is, I want to watch Aristocats, for example, it would show it, it will come up where it is, you just click on it, it will load Disney Plus, and boom, there you go. But that's the same thing with Amazon Fire Stick, so I know that's not a massively new feature, but for a TV that doesn't use external devices, I think that's great. Apps, and external apps, I'm going to give a 3.5. No, I'll give it a 4 out of no, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. There is a lot of apps that are missing, but again, they're dedicated streaming apps. So WWE Network, Crunchyroll, those sort of things. You will still need to have either a Fire Stick or a Google device, or something like that to be able to access it. It does have all the big ones on there, so Paramount, Disney, Netflix, all of that. So, but it is missing a few apps on here. But like I said, because of how easy it is to switch between them, and you don't have to keep switching channels, it's not an issue for me. But a 3.5 for me, because it's still missing some of the apps that I personally use. But for the average viewer, I think you're going to find everything you want on it. So yeah. So all in all, I'm going to give the Sky Glass a 4.5 stars out of 5 stars. That's really high, considering. Like I said, there are some letdowns. The fact that not all of the apps that I personally use are on here. And the fact that, like I said, you have to pay for the skip ads option. I think that's a huge letdown. Said it's not too much. It's only £5 extra a month. It's no different to YouTube Premium, which is $11.99 a month, or when you've got skip ads on a phone game or something. That's about the average price for skip ads. And all in all, I think it's got a lot of shows on here, a lot of movies on here. But bear in mind, you're not going to be able to access Sky Movies unless you pay for it. But I would change it over and get Sky Movies on here, but I've already got it on my Virgin, and I can't really change my Virgin package until October, unfortunately. I can if I want to, but when I spoke to someone about it, they said if I were to do it now, because I've still got discounts and stuff anyway, I'm going to end up paying more. So I'm just going to wait till October, and then when October comes, I'll probably get rid of most of the Virgin stuff and just maybe upgrade it to just put it on Sky instead. All in all, the Sky Glass is a great TV. It's a big improvement. The payment options make it so much easier for you to access it. And the best part is you can make payments when you want. Now, don't get me wrong. If a bill's due, you're going to have to pay it. No problem. But what I mean is if you want to make payments in advance, it just goes over to your next bill. You're basically paying a bill for your TV, like the TV itself, and then you're paying a bill for the channels and the subscription service you use, much like anything else anyway. But the good news is, once you've paid off the loan for the TV, that's it. You don't have to pay that. You'll only be paying for the channels. And you can check how much you owe, which is great. I hate when you look at a lot of things, like even my phone bill. I can't find how much my phone is worth. I have to go through all of these third parties and stuff like that. The Sky one, easy to find, I'm happy with this TV. The design is great. I just will say that, like I said, there's just before I go off, if you're wondering what type of TVs they have a 43-inch one, with the small one, the medium one, which is the 55-inch, which I got, and then the large one, which I think is 73. It's either 68 or something along those lines, just under 70-inch. And they come in 5 colours. They come in dusty pink, which is what I got. It's called dusty pink, but I would say the TV is more of a rose gold colour. The remote's more of a dusty pink colour. It is pure metal as well, just so you know. The TV is made with a metal, and the stand is made of metal. It is able to be wall mounted as well. They do give you wall mounting stuff on here. It's easy to set up, but the good news is the company that you order it from will set it up for you if you ask them to. I didn't. We did it ourselves, but you can do that. It is a little bit thicker than a normal plasma TV, but that you've got to bear in mind, it's got soundbar and everything built in there, so that's why it's a bit thicker. I'm sorry, the other colours are, there's a dark blue, like navy blue colour, the black one, which is the basic one, the white one, and there's sort of like a dark green. And actually, you can actually change the colours of the speakers, apparently, at the bottom, I think, as well. So, all in all, I'm happy with my Sky Glass. My first impressions are pretty good. Maybe in a couple months' time, I'll do another video and give you an update on whether or not I think it's... because I've seen a lot of complaints, but most of those people that are complaining, I think, are Sky Broadband customers. So, we're going to see how things go. But so far, so good. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll just give you one last overview of the TV. So that's the front of the TV, and then the back looks like this, like that, and that's where you screw it in, and your HDMI ports are there. And the good news is this makes it so much easier to wrap your wires around. And as always, guys, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already and join the family. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Mad Kiger. And as always, have a nice day. And let me know, have you got a Sky Glass TV? If you have, let me know, have you had any problems with it? Or has it been great for you? Me personally, I'm loving it so far. Anyway, have a nice day. Take care. And bye.